So hello friends, welcome back. In the last video we saw a problem of using pigeonhole principle in the arrays, right? In the video right here we will also see a problem, but in this video first of all I will show you that what all things he might ask you in arrays when you are using the pigeonhole principle. So like he might say you to find the largest subarray such that its submodern is 0. He might say you to find the subarray of size k such that the submodern is 0. He might say to find the number of such subarrays and so on and so forth. Like the problem will be more or less same. Like it might have a small, like a very small modification from the original theme which we have studied. So all these kinds of problems you can imagine, okay, like how you will solve it. Like it will be more or less same. So in this video we will see another same problem. Like it's very easy for you guys if you have seen the last video. So it will say that we are having an array of size n and we need to find number of subarrays such that the subarray sum mod n is 0. In the last video we saw if we have any subset. Now in this video we are going to see the number of such subarrays. Now like it's exactly same as last question, but like you need to think, okay, how to think of this problem. So like we will have the same example as we saw in the last problem. So the array is this, right? We make the array of prefix sums as we made in last. We will do its mod n. We will obtain this. Up till here you know exactly what I have opted to do, right? Now you need to find the number of subarrays, right? How will you obtain one subarray? You will obtain one subarray by having two same elements, which means that 0 and 0, like a 0 from here and a 0 from here make one subarray, right? A 2 from here and a 2 from here makes another subarray. A 2 from here and a 2 from here makes another subarray. A 2 from here and a 2 from here makes another subarray. So ultimately what I'm opting to do is I will see, okay, how many same elements are there, and out of those number of same elements I will choose two elements, right? Which means that if my frequency of 2 is 3, so I will try to choose two 2's from these three 2's, which means that my number of 2's are 3. I need to choose how many number of 2's? 2. Because ultimately to make a subarray I need L and R, and the L and R will be for two same elements, right? I showed in the last video. So it is exactly same that I will just have another unordered map which will be the frequency map, which will store the frequency of these elements. And now what will happen? I will say, okay, my frequency of 0 is 2, my frequency of 2 is 3, my frequency of 3 is 1, right? And I need to choose, as I said, I need to choose 2 out of these. So I will do this and 1C2. I will just add all these. So these all will be the number of subarrays, right? So it will be nothing but 1, it will be nothing but 3, it will be nothing but 0. So as you can clearly see that what I opted to do is, let me erase this all. So as I have written also, if I have 3 2's, then I need to choose 2 2's to make a pair. So my answer is nothing but it is my frequency C2, it is my frequency C2, which is nothing but 4. So I will show the code. It's pretty simple. It is exactly the same thing what we did in the last video. First of all we input n, after that we input our elements, then we had this array of prefix sums which I made in the last video. Then this unordered map is nothing but a frequency map. It will check, okay, what is the frequency of these elements, as in the last video we had up till here, right? So the only thing which the unordered map is doing is here map of 0, it will store the frequency of 0 which is 2, map of 2 will show the frequency of 2 which is 3, and the frequency of 3 is 1. So we can do it in a O of n span. right? So it is the same thing. I input my element, I did my prefix sum, I had it in the mod n, and after that I will just increase the frequency of that particular element. For here, suppose if I am at 0, my MP of 0 is initially 0, now it will be 1. After that I am in 2, my MP of 2 is nothing but initially 0, it will be 1 now. MP of 0, it will increase by 1, it will be 2. MP of 2, it increase by 1, it will be 2. MP of 3 will be nothing but 1. MP of 2 will again increase by 1, which is 3. How I will obtain this array of frequency? Now I will do nothing. I will just do every frequency element C2, which means that NC2 is nothing but n into n minus 1 by 2, right? You already know NC2 is nothing but n into n minus 1 by 2. So my P, as like you might be knowing that how to iterate on a map, right? Or another map. So I'm just iterating on this, and I will store in my variable called count the frequency, which is the thing right here and right here. Then I will just do NC2 as I did here by this, right? And I just add it in my answer, and at last I will print my answer. So like if you have seen the lecture number 7 properly, so the problem right here should be pretty simple for you. If you have not seen it, I will highly recommend to watch it. But if you have seen it, then I'm pretty sure that it would have been pretty simple for you guys. If it had been, then do hit like button. It helps me and it motivates me a lot. Like you might think that, okay, it's only a like, so why I'm like asking for it. But I see the stats, okay, like लोगों को अच्छा लग रहा है, तो it motivates me to make more and make it better. So yeah, like if you have anything to say, like what to improve on, then you can write it surely down below. And yeah, it's all for this video. In the next video, we will see the problem on bits, which will use pigeonhole principle. And I swear in bits, pigeonhole principle is used a lot. So yeah, see you in the next video. Until then, be happy coding. Bye.